Good afternoon and welcome to the Rams Live pregame show presented by Little Caesars, the official pizza of the Los Angeles Rams here at SoFi Stadium for Week 13. I'm JB Long with my friends DeMarco Farr and Maurice Jones-Drew, counting down to kickoff for the first of two meetings down the home stretch between these NFC West rivals. The Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams get together for the first time in 2022. We'll check in with Ricky Hollywood coming up momentarily. But let's start with the headliner for me, and that is Bobby Wagner, who had a Hall of Fame career with the Seahawks. They decided this spring they didn't need him anymore. They had drafted his replacement, has had a great year with the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I have nicknamed him Darth Wagner. I mean, I just love his presence. He is that guy. So, look, of all the guys playing right now on defense, we've had some special players, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, clearly special players. But when you talk about leadership and what he brings to a defense more than on the field, it definitely embodies Bobby Wagner. He has been the replacement for Andrew Whitworth. It's just been on the other side of the football. So, been completely impressed. I heard that he had lost a step. I'll be darned if I've seen that, Maurice. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I played against Bobby Wagner. I've been out of the league a long time, and to see him still playing at a high level, and he might not be as fast as he was in his younger days, but mentally, he knows where the ball is going, and he can get there before the ball gets there. And you're right, his play has been awesome on the field. It's what he's been able to do in that locker room with younger guys that I think is more impressive. To get Ernest Jones to keep playing the way he's playing, to have some of these young guys go out there and showcase their abilities, and to keep everything calm and collective when things aren't going the best for this team.
Given what the Rams are going through, which now includes putting Matthew Stafford on injured reserve finally this week, what does a guy like Wagner mean to the locker room in this moment? If you had to answer the question, what are you playing for? The chance to get Wagner a win against the Seahawks, how much can that be a rallying cry?
Oh, huge, right? This is like Christmas morning, to me, at least. Like, if I was playing the Jacksonville Jaguars back in the day, I might have texted everyone at like 4:07, hey, it's game time. Let's get our minds right, right? And I'm a more emotional guy than he is, but you know how much it means to him. You've seen him put in the work. We've talked to him from OTAs about this game. It's finally here, right? And you get another opportunity, but you want to go out and win this first one for him just because you've seen the work that he's put in, how dedicated he's been. And as a teammate, that's what you do for your team, right? That's what you do for your brother. Mm-hmm. You make sure you put him in the best position to be successful.
Yeah, as the Rams look to snap this losing streak, maybe seeing the familiar colors of the Seattle Seahawks is exactly what they need to get right. Unfortunately, DeMarco, they'll have to do it without the best they've ever had, Aaron Donald.
Oh, yeah, just it's a heartbreak. I mean, look, you need Aaron Donald out there. Aaron Donald plays, 97% of the time. I want him to play more. Does that mean? I need him at 100. The Rams are better when he's on the field. But, and this is where it relates to me. How do you know what you have behind Aaron if you can't get on the field? So this is a wonderful opportunity to find out if you have his replacement on the roster.
All right, so who are some of those names then?
Bobby Brown would be a guy that comes to mind. Jonah Williams comes to mind. Jonah Williams is going to play a lot tonight, and I heard his little baby boy is in the stands tonight. So,
he got to play well.
Oh, my God. And Michael Hoyt, his grandfather, 83 years old, first football game ever.
Got to play well.
He's going to go berserk, so look for those two guys to go nuts tonight.
I mean, for 9 years, Aaron Donald has only missed time for two reasons: a contract holdout and because the Rams had already clinched. Give me some context on a defensive tackle missing his first game due to injury for the first time.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that takes on double teams, triple teams. Guys are cutting at his legs. And it's a testament to his routine, right? Taking care of his body, taking care of his mind. And it hasn't all been the best years. It hasn't been like it's been the last 4 or 5 years, right? There have been some down years there, and yet he still plays at a high level. And that's another part of leadership, right? Of saying, like, man, this dude has been giving us his all. He's been beat up. He's been banged up. This is one of the first times, or the first time he's missed because of injury. It's a testament to who he is as a person, to who he is as a player. And like you said, it's going to be exciting to see have these guys learn from him and what he's been able to do, right?
You got to go. He's out. But let me say, it's a testament to his discipline, too.
Yeah.
And his fundamentals. And I got to bring in Coach Henderson on that one, because how do you coach the best player and make that guy better?
Like a dog?
Absolutely, with dog work. So, look, the reason Aaron's been so durable is his dedication to the craft. He doesn't play blocks lazy. Every block is played hard. That's why he's been able to stay up, stay active, stay healthy.
I mean, the Rams have had one of the better run defenses in the league again this year, and there was a knock on Aaron for a while there that he didn't play the run as honestly as he did the pass. I think we're going to find out against Kenneth Walker and the Seahawks and down this home stretch just how much he's meant to this run defense. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. Let me take you in a different direction. Who can name a quarterback in the building today with a playoff win over the Seattle Seahawks?
John Wolford.
There you go.
Yeah.
He didn't last too long in that game. Unfortunately, he was taken to the hospital after getting knocked out by Jamal Adams. But he has been named the starter for today's contest for the Rams. What do you make of that decision?
Well, I think it's the right one because you're going to need to pass the football to beat the Seahawks today. I mean, I expect them to come out and load up to stop the run and force you to throw. I love what Bryce Perkins did in Kansas City. I really did. But at some point, you're going to have to attack down the field. You're going to have to get the ball out of your hands with velocity and get it out quick. So I don't think you'll see, like, just one guy the entire game. I think you'll see a dose of two. But I like having John Wolford back in charge of the offense instead of Matthew Stafford.
Well, this is the thing. I got a chance in pregame to talk to Chinner Owosu, the defensive end / linebacker for the Seahawks, and he we haven't been rushing the passer well at all. So we got to try to get right, too, which lets me know this is a game for you to be able to get the ball down the field. If they haven't been getting to the quarterback, and you play the Raiders, whose offensive line is very similar to what the Rams are putting out there. So understand this. We always go back to it. When things get rough, you got to go back to the basics.
Oh, no doubt.
I think you go back to play action pass, outside zone, turning around, getting back on your first step, and flipping that ball in a deep in-breaking route, taking shots down the field, finding different ways. Play both quarterbacks, too, right? Get that 3rd and 2, that 3rd and 1, maybe a red zone situation where you get Bryce Perkins to utilize his legs. But it's time. It's time to let this thing go and see what these young receivers can do.
Now the Bucs and the Raiders in back-to-back wins against the Seahawks have combined to rush for 444 yards. So I get what you're saying. You do need to throw to be able to beat this Seahawks defense, and maybe even more so on Thursday against the Raiders, who might have the worst pass defense in the league. We'll get to that in a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah, make no mistake. Whatever you do offensively throwing the football, it's to set up so you can run more.
No question. That's
the only way you're going to beat the Seahawks. You're going to have to run it early. You're going to have to run it often and consistently. This is going to be tough, but whatever you want to do passing the ball, it is to set up for you to run more. You know what I mean?
Well, I know the football cliche, if you have two quarterbacks, then you don't have one. But going to New Orleans and seeing what the Saints were able to do, maybe I'm changing my thinking on that with Perkins and Wolford. We'll see what McVay comes up with today. Time to check in with a fourth member of our squad. Ricky Hollywood is down on the field with us at SoFi again. Hello, Erica.
Hi, guys. How are you? I am once again in the corner end zone, and I was just dodging balls. So is this personal? Like, we need to talk after the show because here I am, working on my moves. But today is LA Bold for the Rams. We have a half pipe in AA Plaza. There's going to be an amazing BMX show at halftime. I saw them warming up, and I've been practicing all week, so I'm ready to jump in as an alternate if they need me. It's also week 13 in the NFL, which means it's my cause, my cleats. And we have 30 Rams players and coaches wearing their cleats that, for charities, which is awesome. So also, we need to take advantage of the defense. They're 28th in scoring, the Seattle defense, and they're 30th in total defense, which is great. And also focus on not throwing the ball away. 19 takeaways, the 4th most in the NFL. Their rookie, Tariq Woolen, has 5 interceptions on himself. So it's a big day for the Rams offense. Back to you guys.
All right, Ricky, thank you very much. Let's continue with our live pregame show here at SoFi Stadium before Week 13. But taking a look at Geno Smith and the Seahawks offense. What a trade they pulled off this offseason, sending their franchise quarterback Russell Wilson to Denver. Now they're in line to maybe be a playoff team and have 2 first-round picks, one of them being a top 5 selection courtesy of those Broncos. What do you make of Geno so far?
Geno's been playing within the system, right? Pete Carroll loves to run the football, play action pass, take shots downfield. And you know what? He's done that. Over the last couple weeks, he's turned the ball over a little bit more than he did early in the year, but they played complementary football, and that's what he's done. That's how you kind of get your career back on track. And then eventually you become that guy that can make that big-time throw later in the year because you haven't been exposed to so many different defenses and different hits, different blitzes. And so I thought their running game has been awesome, which has helped Geno Smith a ton. He's played fast. He's gotten the ball out quick, and he's taking his shots when they presented themselves, and that's all you're looking for.
You know what I thought when we were watching him warm up? I'm like, he might be the luckiest guy on the planet. Think of the weapons he has and the scheme that he was in. When you guys went from one week to the next, studying Kansas City's offense and then flipping to Seattle, which one had the fewest pages of notes?
Oh,
this one. Absolutely. So it's well within his wheelhouse to do what he's doing with Seattle. Hand the football off, be effective off play action. And when I ask you to, launch the ball down the field to either Lockett or DK Metcalf.
I was going to say, the Chiefs don't have those guys.
No, they don't.
They've got Kelsey, but they don't have those two.
He's got weapons. So all you have to do is be a la Matt Leinart at SC.
Yeah.
Just be accurate with the football and let the playmakers do the work.
Let's talk about the Rams' weapons. You take a look at this week's 2 deep. Tutu Atwell is listed as a starter now. We're seeing him run more of the route tree as recently as last week in Kansas City.
We heard, look, he's explosive. Tutu has a chance to be really special today. He's got speed to burn. The problem with him is he's not very big. So if you can tailor a game plan to his strengths, what do you think's going to happen? So I hope we see some big plays out of Tutu today.
Well, you got to think, you want to tailor kind of like Deshaun Jackson. A lot of short on-the-run routes, catch the ball, get out of bounds, quick outs, maybe a quick hitch, spin out, stay outside, and then take your shot when you get an opportunity to. We've seen the big plays, right? Now it's time to make him a more complete receiver. But I wouldn't have him go across the middle. I just wouldn't do it. That's just my personal opinion. Keep him outside and let him work out there.
MJD, back to you real quick on this one. Kyron Williams expected to get a start today. Cam Akers was ill this week. His practice limited. Malcolm Brown is up. But this could be the moment where you see Kyron step into a starting role.
Well, I think it's time. Kyron has done an awesome job with his opportunities. He really excelled a lot. I would say he excelled against Kansas City in the passing game, catching some short passes, turn around, getting going. Now it's your time, right? We always have a moment, an opportunity to showcase what we can do. This is going to be your opportunity. Cam Akers, like you said, was sick. Malcolm Brown is kind of coming in to be more of a pass pro guy for you. This is your time to take this running game and this team and put it on your back. Can you do it? And if you can, welcome to the league, my friend.
I love Kyron. He is relentlessly positive.
Yes.
Isn't he? He's one of those guys. I love those.
Notre Damer, man. He's like a golden domer.
6 games to go, including today. Rams trying to get back in the win column. They'll play the Seahawks twice here and then in the regular season finale at Lumen Field in the Pacific Northwest. In terms of matchups to watch for, where's your mind gravitate?
Wow, matchups to watch for today. Look, anything to me, it's going to be wherever Nwosu lines up. I mean, he is their best pass rusher. They're still trying to find some pass rush, but he's got 7 sacks, and he also leads them in roughing the passer calls.
I mean, getting there.
So he is super, ultra aggressive. So wherever he lines up, that tackle will be in peril. To me, that's the matchup if you're going to have to throw at some point with Wolford.
I would say Bobby Wagner and his emotions. I think that's the matchup to watch.
Nice.
Because I'm looking across, I see my old coach, see my old staff, old friends there. You didn't believe in me. And that's an emotional thing to kind of say is for all you've done, you always want to feel appreciated, right? Keep those emotions going, like keep them under control a little bit, let them out when they need to at the point of attack, but then reel them back in, right? I expect him to stare at the Seahawks bench after a big play at least 5 times today.
All right, before I give mine, let's see if Ricky Hollywood is still around for a matchup to watch for. Erica, you with us?
I am. I'm still here. And I saw DK Metcalf warming up behind me, and that is a large man. JB, you and I were saying, imagine trying to tackle him at full speed. So how about, is it Jalen Ramsey? Who's lining up against DK Metcalf and keeping him locked down?
That has been a great matchup to watch for many years, and it's indelible in my mind when they motion DK away and Jalen Ramsey is just like exasperated, shaking his head, knowing he had already won. Pre-snap, he had already won. We'll see how much or how little we'll see of that today. Can I go Dixon against Dixon in the punting game?
Oh, I love it.
As my matchup to watch?
Yeah.
After Riley Dixon had his most impactful game as a Ram in Kansas City last week, he drew a muff. He put one inside the 5. He completed a pass on a fake punt, 4th down and change. Got 6 yards out of it to Jacob Harris. I think field position could be something to watch here today. All right, let's get to final thoughts. We've waited a long time to see these Seahawks. A schedule that was front-loaded with the 49ers is now back-loaded with Seattle. Wrap it up for me, MJD.
Well, to me, this is going to come down to who wins the line of scrimmage and who's able to create more explosives in both the running game and the passing game. If you're the Los Angeles Rams, you found ways to create explosives against this Pete Carroll defense. No matter if it's 2 high safeties or single high safety, Sean McVay's done an awesome job of creating explosives. Can he do it again today?
Well, look, I'm thinking this is incremental, steps towards success, towards winning. You got to earn yourself a win here. So, look, you are what you are at 3-8. So everybody would love to beat Seattle. I would love to play spoiler, especially to them.
Ooh.
But this is about incremental success. So I'm with you on the punter. I think every drive you have to start with at least and try to get at least 5 rush attempts per drive. And if you have to punt, great. That keeps them backed up. That keeps them winning the field position battle because if you can take this into the 4th quarter, who knows what could happen? You may walk out here with a win.
What's your line? Finish every drive with a kick?
Finish every drive with a kick.
Look, it's been a hard week. Things have not been going the Rams' way since the bye, but this is game day. This is the best part. These 3 hours when you have a chance to measure up against a division rival, we are looking forward to it. That'll wrap up our Rams pregame show, delivered by Little Caesars. Make sure you order Little Caesars online during the Pizza pregame and get it delivered, or you can pick it up in store in the Pizza Portal. 1:05 Pacific, the kickoff on Fox. For MJD DeMarco and Erica, I'm JB Long. Rams and Seahawks doing battle in Inglewood here in Week 13. Enjoy the game.